Hi, I'm Steve Pond. We're here at the TheWrap studios at the Toronto Film Festival with the folks responsible for Tramps. Thank you all for coming, and congratulations on a terrific movie.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So, let's just talk a little bit about what Tramps is. It's basically, it's sort of a crime drama, but it's sort of a relationship movie. Where did the idea come from? And
I think it's more of a, we like to think of it as a romantic adventure. I think the idea was me and my partner on it, this guy named Jamin Washington. We came together and we wanted to tell a story that really captures the idea of falling in love at the movies. And so whatever that kind of classic idea is, whatever your favorite one is, it could be His Girl Friday or Trouble in Paradise or When Harry Met Sally, and to capture the feeling of that and the feeling when you fall in love with characters and you just fall in love watching them at the movies, but do that in a way that felt modern and maybe that you hadn't seen before, with characters maybe you hadn't seen before in that kind of story. And the heist idea just sort of came to me when I was on a vacation with my brother, and I just had this sort of idea of these two brothers and one fills in for the other on a heist, and I thought that could be a really great match to sort of light this kind of story and this kind of adventure.
one of the things I loved about the film is that when you see an indie film about, that involves a crime where things start going wrong, you kind of set yourself up for knowing that things are going to get bad and get worse, and it's going to be black, and you actually have the nerve to say, what, you like these characters, and no spoilers here really, but I'm not going to drive them into the pits of hell by the end of this movie, which is wonderfully refreshing.
And honestly, I think based off of some guys that both me and Jamin, my writing partner, knew, and how we talked about this in that world, and we're sort of swapping stories about that, I think in some ways a more realistic take. Something goes wrong with the heist, and some people have been like, wow, like no one breaks anybody's legs or even threatens to, and it's like, that'd be a really stupid move to break someone's leg. That's not going to solve the problem. And oftentimes in a movie like this, there'll be that unhinged character who's totally crazy and something goes wrong and they're just going to take out a baseball bat or something, and it's like, yeah, that's not really how someone who's successfusly going to pull off a crime endeavor works. That person's probably in jail already. And so it's like the people who can figure this out when something goes wrong, like when something goes wrong on a film set, on it, you say, all right, the most rational person says, all right, what should we do, and how do we figure this out and deal with the situation? And we were really interested in the idea of how both Danny and Ellie deal with the situation they're in, but also of how the sort of plot machinations would really deal with themselves, and that in some ways that would be more entertaining and more exciting and more of a sort of a way you hadn't seen it before, but also maybe feeling more genuine than kind of like the guy with the crazy hair screaming and yelling and yeah.
Right. Well, congratulations. I think you really brought something fresh to indie cinema, and it's a great movie. And
thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it.